This is Vanessa Mota with Mota Cross-Linking Business Academy and also U.S. President of CAINEM, International Chamber of Entrepreneurs. Thank you, Carol, and thank you, CAINEM family, for having me here. And this is with the Leading Fantastic Five. Who are the Leading Fantastic Five? These are highlighted leaders in our community in the United States that deserve all the highlight and all the honors that they receive. Again, so this is today we are so honored to have another set of Leading Fantastic Five. These Leading Fantastic Five are leaders in our community who do so much to thrive and do so many things in our community. Today we have Shanice Cleckley. Shanice Cleckley is the CEO of Smart Cookie, a business development firm that helps Christian female entrepreneurs grow their business with strategic planning, digital skills, training, and lifestyle integration. She is also the South Carolina digital coach for the Grow with Google Digital Coaches program, a sought-after keynote speaker and multimedia personality. Shanice has appeared on ABC, CBS, Fox, CNBC, NBC, sharing her expertise for helping entrepreneurs embrace the lifestyle they dreamed of, with owning a business, being present with family, and serving. In 2018, Shanice was featured by Google's Grow with Google program, how she successfully transitioned her brick and mortar bakery into a completely online business model by using YouTube and self-trained online tools. Her Google video feature currently has over 670,000 likes and views. Shanice earned her BA in Political Science and Public Affairs from Columbia College. Shanice is involved in the community as the chair for South Carolina Whitmore School Board, MC for 1 Million Cups, a Kauffman Foundation initiative, member of the City of Columbia Accommodation Tax Committee, member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and active member of Mount Horeb United Methodist Church. Shanice and her husband, LeBrian, live in Lexington, South Carolina. Together, they have 4 kids, 1 granddaughter, and 1 beloved dog, Coco. Wow, Shanice, you look not 1 minute over 30. I don't know how old you are, but you look very young. Okay. So aside from being a great leader, you are also a beautiful and young woman. So can you tell us a little bit about your story, how you began your journey, and who is Shanice? Who is this Smart Cookie we're hearing about?
Oh my gosh, Vanessa, that's a loaded question, but thank you so much for all your kindness and thank you for having me on today. Let's see, the first one, my journey. I actually started entrepreneurism full-time because I got laid off in 2003. I had been actually 2002, I got laid off. I was working for a Fortune 100 company. I was a business process manager in Atlanta, Georgia, and I got laid off. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going back to corporate America again. I was doing little side hustles of baking and candy wrappers and different things like that. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna do this full time. So I moved back home to Columbia, South Carolina, back with my parents, and said, I'm going to do this. And that's what I did. I opened up my first brick and mortar in 2005 called Literary Sweets, which was a bookstore and coffee house combined. And then from there, it evolved to when I finished baking full time, which was a couple of years ago, to my dessert bar. So it had a lot of iterations. And now as a business coach, I'm helping other people be able to go out and do what I did. Bootstrap your way through if you need to, but just come up with the strategies and tactics to grow a business in this environment. So real world experience as well as academics. So next question was, who is Shanice? Shanice is a fully assembled woman of God. That's who I am. This is my ministry. I know a lot of people don't bring their faith into their business, but I do, because it's like amazing to be able to work within your gifts. So I have a gift of insight and vision and tactics and administration. So why can't I put that to work to help other people make money? I mean, it's amazing. So because of that, that's what I do.
Wow, Shanice. I mean, first of all, yes, you are very right. God should always be in everything that we do, or whoever, whoever's higher being they believe in. But me personally, it's God. And I put him in the middle of everything that I do as well. One of the things that has me really intrigued, how did you go from a bakery, a coffee bakery, to the coach that you are now? What was that transition? What clicked in Shanice that said, this is where we're going next?
Well, it didn't click in me. It really didn't, because I didn't know that all the things that I had going on were leading up to become a coach or become a strategist. So I'm more of a strategist than a coach, but everybody knows what a coach is and not a strategist. Plus, strategy sounds really nerdy, and I rather relate to you. So to become a coach, when I was baking, I would take classes on how to run a business. There was not a lot out there as far as lifestyle baking at the time. Yes, social media was out there, but my first social media page for my business was actually MySpace. I turned a MySpace profile into a business profile. So that's how far back me doing digital skills and doing things go. I was making my own websites with Yahoo. I mean, so it was way back then. And I just felt that it didn't have to be this hard. I also would go to some of the government organizations who do help you and they're free, but nobody was really talking to me the way I needed them to relate to me. I didn't have 3 months worth of salary in the bank. I didn't have 6 months. I didn't have that, but I knew I needed to be in business. So how can you tell me how to start now? And because of that, I would search and search and search for as much information as I can, and started just devouring it and utilizing myself to come up with some best practices for myself. And then I helped other people. Fast forward, when the bubble broke in the internet, I was like, okay, I have these degrees. What am I going to do with them? I had to go back to work. So I went back to work in advocacy, which actually, when you're working in your business, you are advocating for your business. You're teaching people how to come to your business. So that also helped me to understand, oh my gosh, I'm still doing business, but in a different way. Of course, I baked on the side. So I was still baking. And then I became full-time again after I was like, I can't do this anymore. That entrepreneurial spirit, you can't let it go. So I started baking again full-time, but it was becoming where I was becoming more of a mentor to people. And they would say, how did you do it? And I would just share what I would do. How did you do it? I share what I do. And quite honestly, in 2018, God told me to go ahead and give my business away. And I did. I gifted my business to a young lady who is an excellent baker. Her food was wonderful. So I gave her my entire book of business. And then he told me to go train other people of how to do this. And I did. So I continued my education as becoming a Kaufman certified fast track instructor. I've taken workshops and webinars because I did want to have the academics behind my real world. And from there, Smart Cookie became a real reality. It became personified. It wasn't just an ideal anymore. So I wanted to give a nod to my company of baking for all my life, which is where the smart and the cookie comes from. And my son, my oldest son, who would say all the time, Grandpa, I'm just one smart cookie. And because of that, I was like, I want all my clients to be smart cookies. So it just transitioned. So that's the pathway from baker to smart cookie.
Wow. It's really a very great transition. And it's very amazing. It almost sounds like it should be in a book. Um, Uh, the other thing is you said about a strategist. Can you tell us a little bit what it is that you do as a strategist?
Yes, I am a strategic plan process nerd. So I love processes. I love systems and putting them in place. When I look at someone, the first thing I ask them, well, how did you get there? And there's like, well, I don't know. Okay, well, we need to put a system in place. So I go and I help businesses put systems in place. I come up with strategies to get to their goals, especially monetary goals. So if you want to get to $25,000 or $250,000, let's look and see what you offer and how much you charge and what you can do to get to that goal. We also work on like impact goals. I want to be able to touch 100 entrepreneurs in a particular thing that they may do as their gift. Okay, how are we going to reach those 100 people? What are we going to do? And then lifestyle goals is I want to stay home. I don't want to have to go out all the time. Okay, let's look at your business operations to figure out how you can have more time for family and have more time for yourself, because you don't have to work all the time. My goal is to have people live their life and run their business and not have their business run their life. It should be the opposite way around. Abundance and freedom to enjoy who you are as you're growing a business to whatever level you want it to grow to. So that's what I do as a strategist.
Well, I give you so many kudos because I'll tell you here at the Academy, we've been strategizing, structuring, processing, programming, everything you name it, and we've been doing it, and it is a pain. So, what you are doing, I imagine you're doing it for everybody else. It's actually phenomenal. This is really awesome. I have another question. Where do you see Smart Cookie going in the future? So right now you're a strategist, a coach. What is in the box for Smart Cookie?
Well, we're going
What
to
do you see? What do you envision?
Well, I envision a global business development organization. So I do train online. So I've trained people in Switzerland, Singapore, and Turkey, Colombia. Who else? UK, of course, Ireland, and there was one more. I can't remember. But there was one more country. And the internet has made it possible to be able to teach business principles and work-life harmony principles to anyone. So I would love to make sure that Smart Cookie goes global so everybody can have a part of it, and go into different countries and really look at not only how that country operates, but how I can bring more people into integrating their work life and their home life together to make it more freedom and more abundance. And bringing in more strategists to be able to teach them the methodology of what I do and help more people. Because I'm only one person, so I can only do it one at a time or a few at a time. But when I have more people come on, then we'll be able to help more people have more freedom within their careers.
Wow. Well, we definitely need to stay connected after this because I can feel all those global vibes here,
Yes,
and
definitely.
and it does take, it takes a village, and this is awesome. And I like this because when more people go global, and this is why for International Women's Day, I am so glad that you're on this for month, that you're on this panel and you're saying all the things that you're saying, because we touch people's lives around us, but globally, that is a very great vision. And I hope you get to it. And I wish you the best in all of that. Shanice, I would love for you to leave us with a message from the Smart Cookie to everyone who's listening to you today.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I would say my message is your dream can come true. You can have the business of your dreams if you just lean in, come up with a plan, and take action. Don't let anyone tell you that you're crazy. You're not. God put that in you for a reason. Go ahead and share your gifts because you're someone's answered prayer and they're waiting on you to do what you need to do so that they can do what they need to do.
Thank you very much, Shanice. It was a pleasure having you here with us, and thank you for everything, okay?
Thank
Thank you.
you. I appreciate
Bye,
it.
Shanice.
Bye.
Kisses. Okay. So this is Shanice with us today, and thank you very much, Shanice. Next, we have Laurie Rau. And Laurie Rau, after Laurie is here with us today. And after 20 years of service working for the Department of Defense and Booz, Allen and Hamilton, Laurie Rau, along with her husband Mike, moved to South Carolina to raise her family. Since 2010, Laurie has owned her own art business, Dragonflies and Roses, where she creates original paintings. Recently, she has taken on the roles and responsibilities of Assistant Director for Mota Cross-Linking Business Academy. Before joining Mecma, Laurie was a member of the Columbia Sons of Italy, where she was the volunteer coordinator for many of Italian festivals. She also served as secretary on the board of directors of Columbia Sons of Italy, and then later as vice president from the Boston, Massachusetts. Laurie is second generation Italian and Irish. Now, one of the things I want to say, thank you very much to Laurie Rau. We have had the Laurie and Ulysses are part of our team, and they are here filling, but they have phenomenal stories. We had one emergency happen to another speaker, therefore he couldn't be here, and the other one, unfortunately, he's no longer with us, and so we had two different things happen this time. But this doesn't mean, in honor of Mr. Bill Mooneyham, I want to honor this to him, as he is no longer with us, and as a great man who believed in connecting people. This is why we are going to continue with this, and know that he is above watching us. But thank you very much. So, as the CAINEM president for the United States, it's an honorable uh, place to be here with this leading fantastic five. And so today we have Laurie Rau with us. Can you please tell us a little bit about your story, Laurie?
Good morning, Vanessa. Sure. When I was little, I was very interested in doing anything but work, so I would doodle. So I would sit in class and doodle and draw things. And when I got older, I realized that my gift, I guess you could say, was in with art. And so I took it to the next level and decided that's what I was going to be. I was going to be a fine artist, and I went to community college to start with, and then art school after that. So when I had my family, I had to put everything away. And so once they all grew up and left the house, and I brought my crayons back out. So,
Okay.
so, but I miss my kids immensely. However, I also know that I need to do me. And so it was very important for me to have my own thing, and also help other people. I enjoy, jumping in and helping where I'm needed.
So can you tell us, we're going to talk a little bit about your art, but we're going to talk about your leadership in Mecma. How did you go from an artist to leading an academy? What are some of the things that helped you to that transition?
Well, before marriage and kids, I worked for a corporation, and I was an executive secretary, ran an office of 300 people. So once I became a stay-at-home mom, I realized that I liked being out of the house more than in the house. So I did a whole lot of different things over the years, and I learned quite a bit from all different sources, from catering to bartending to running an office for a furniture store. Did a little bit of Mary Kay. So all the things that I have done over the years have brought me to where I am. And I know what it's like to be a leader, and I know what it's like to be led. And I also did a lot of volunteer work over the years as well. So, when you have a job to do, you just got to get it done.
What is one of the things you like about working in at Mecma, being an assistant director?
Number one, I love the people. Hands down, can't even don't even talk to me about anything else. I love the people. I love the family. I love that we're all working towards one goal, and I love the challenges of doing it. I'm not going to tell my age, but I love the fact that I can still contribute to this, to the vision, and to getting, things accomplished. And it's always, no day is the same. It's always different, and it's I love it. I just love it. Did I answer your question?
What is one of the biggest challenges you have seen being an assistant director at Mecma?
Biggest challenges. Oh, that's a toughie. I think it's getting everyone kind of on the same page at the same time, because at different times people are plugged in, and other times, it could be something from home or something, that's affecting the goals. But I think just keeping everybody positive, and seeing, keep moving. I mean, that's it. You just, sometimes we make mistakes, but we fail forward, and we learn from the past, and we move on, to the next thing. So.
So what is the most positive thing that has impacted you? What is the thing that has or situation that has impacted you the most positively from Mecma as a leader?
Positively. I've been able to do things that I never thought possible, like getting up in front and talking to people, doing interviews like this, just being out front and being able to meet people. I mean, I've met so many people from the community, the government people and everything, and I just, I meet people that make the world go round, and I think that's a great thing. I mean, I love it. So that's who that was, that kind of a thing. I just get a thrill out of that.
Good. Okay. So can you explain to us what cross-linking is, and can you tell us a little bit more about those cross-linking programs that you guys have at Mecma?
Well, I think these are my favorite. When we host events for cross-linking, we highlight and share and recognize and award other ethnicities that have done great in business and in community service, volunteering. We have done the South Carolina Latino Proclamation Day. We've done Native American Heritage Day. We've also celebrated Black History Month and International Women in Business Leadership. We also have, coming down the line this year, we're going to be working on the Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Day, as well as a European Day. And then back in the fall, we'll go back to the South Carolina Latino Business Day. So I think I've learned so much about the culture of these different communities, and I love the fact that I love being involved in all that. I love creating the programs and meeting people, and it's just phenomenal. I just, and if I didn't come here, I wouldn't have known all this. And you've opened, my eyes, my ears, and I know how to, understand the different people.
Good. Now, let me ask you, did you ever see yourself doing all of this?
No, I was thinking they would just put me in a corner in a rocking chair and just like, and then give me my hot milk.
In the reading nook, right? In the reading nook.
Yeah. So I'm thrilled.
Okay, yeah. So what is it that you're doing now with art and in the academy? How are you incorporating your business? I've heard some rumors about palette versus palette and all this stuff. Can you tell me what else is Dragonflies, your business, doing that is incorporated into this business academy?
Well, thank you for asking. So, palette versus palette is we bring the culinary together with the art, and we highlight, um, like on Valentine's Day, we had a nice romantic dinner com- compare paired with a painting related to Valentine's Day. So we have coming up, we have a number of events that we're going to do similar things, like wait until football season. We're going to have we're going to have football food combined with like like the guys painting beer glasses, that kind of thing. So
Great.
so
And I also heard, sorry to interrupt before, because I'm having a senior moment. No, I'm just joking, because you always say that. But I one thing that I heard that is very interesting. So you guys are doing a painting of like a meal versus palette versus palette, but you're also doing a topic. So during football season, you'll talk about the football games or the football teams, and then you'll talk, you know, you will be painting, or for
right.
example, if you're doing, what are you guys doing in May?
I think we're going to highlight Mother's Day because we're all important.
Oh, that is
So
great. That is great. So,
we're
so you'll
we're
have a
still working
topic
on.
and everything. Sorry.
Yeah, we will, and we're still working on that. But yeah, stay tuned. Yeah, and then
Great.
the other thing that Dragonflies and Roses does is we we partnered with Biz for Kids, and I came in and did a sponsorship program with the kids, and they had a blast. I did it with my Doodle girls, but I changed it to Doodle Bosses. So each child, I told them my story, and then each child created a painting based on what they want to be when they grow up. So we had some very interesting paintings, but it was so much fun. It was full. It was packed class. It was packed. It was just wonderful, and I would like to do more of those. And that's stay tuned.
Do you have any samples?
They're in the other room. I don't have them with me at the moment,
Okay.
but if you would like to go to my social media pages, I can provide that information. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Dragonflies and Roses Studios on Instagram and on Facebook. And I do have an Etsy shop, and it's also Dragonflies and Roses Studios.
I would like to have you on another time so you could tell us how it was that you got, with your whole, online selling and stuff. But this is the kind of artwork that Laurie does with Dragonflies and Roses. And she partnered up with Mecma, came here, and these were the necklaces. And this one is in memory, like in commemoration of International Women's Month. Can you tell us a little bit about this piece?
So that is actually a washer, and I painted the national flowers from each of those countries, and I think I did cactus for Mexico. Uh, Lily, is there a lily on there
Yes,
from Italy? And I forgot the other daffodils. I think I put on there,
yes, and roses.
and roses. Roses, England. Um,
Wow,
so
very, very good. So
thanks.
thank you very much, Laurie. Can you leave us a message for everybody who's watching you today? A message from you as a leader and, everything that you do.
Don't ever be afraid. You only do this one time, and if you say no to things, you're cutting yourself off from so much. So jump in, just jump in. It's okay to draw outside the lines. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay. You're just you do you. You're the only one who can write the story of your life. So you hold the pencil, or the paintbrush. So just don't be afraid.
Great. Thank you very much, Laurie. It was a pleasure having you here with us. And thank you. And Till next time.
Toodles, toodlers.
Okay. Okay, next, again, thank you for watching today. This is the uh, Leading Fantastic Five, and this is Vanessa Mota, President for the United States for CAINEM, International Chamber of Entrepreneurs. And today we have Mr. Zachary Diaz. Zachary Diaz was born 1991, is an American visual artist and graphic designer. As a freelance designer, Zachary has worked with small businesses, universities, and individuals to create branding, market products, and connect audiences with the vision of his clientele. He has exhibited his artwork in many solo and group exhibitions, as well as participated in several artist residences in New York, Italy, and South Carolina. He has a BFA in studio art from the University of South Carolina and currently lives and works in Columbia, South Carolina. His artwork and design portfolio can be viewed at www.zadiaz.com. Zadiaz, Zadiaz.com. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you here, Zach. I will say that tomorrow is our grand opening, and during our VIP, we are having the grand revelation. One of the things I do want to say it before I let him speak. He is the lead coordinator of the mural on the wall, and soon you guys are going to see it. It's phenomenal. I mean, it is a view that will actually, my father tested it and he sat there for 2 hours just deciphering the mural before we covered it back up. And he's also the man behind the logo for Mecma and the man behind the web page for Mecma. So can you tell us about you, Zach? Who are you?
Sure. I'm Zach. I'm Zachary Diaz. I'm a fine artist, graphic designer. I guess more about me. I started drawing and painting when I was younger, doing commissions for friends and families. But I've always drawn. My father drew cartoons, and I sort of took up his style, and then I wanted to do more with it. So I started making more realistic work. I started studying art more consistently. I chose to study it in college. I studied at a few universities, SCAD, Coker College, and I finished at the University of South Carolina. But during the whole time, I was working 2-3 jobs, and I was fulfilling freelance commissions for design and for art. And I got to a point where I was making as much as I was making from all of my other jobs by doing my art. And so I said, you know what, this is what I love to do. This is what I want to do. Why don't I just do this full time? And so ever since, I've been, working strictly with artistic endeavors. And it's been such a blessing to be able to continue my passion and work really, really hard at it and continue to grow.
What is a piece that you are very proud of?
Apart
in
from
art.
apart from the mural that will be revealed tomorrow, I've worked on several very. I guess all of my work is to me is incredible because I love the process of creation. I think there was a mural that I did for the University of South Carolina. I finished it last year, just before the pandemic started, actually, the week before. It's a 45-foot mural in the School of the Earth, Ocean, and Environment. That's been, out of all the projects, that's been the one that I've grown the most. It took a very long time. I was sort of doing it. I was doing it alone, and it was a lot harder than I thought it would be at first. But I stuck with it. I kept going, and it's just an amazing piece to look at, to walk through. It was just an incredible growing opportunity.
Okay, so and what the reason I'm asking this is because I remember from the video that we did. So I guess the mural one was the one you worked with people. Can you tell us that experience, what it was like to make a mural with different ethnicities, different people? Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So I spent a lot of years playing sports, so working as a team with other people. But with my art, it's strictly been sort of doing the work by myself. with the mural at Mecma, it was a much different experience. You know, I was having to not just put forth my plan, but have others bring their talents and their ideas to the table. And I mean, at first, it's different. It's much different because you're thinking, oh well, you know, I'm pretty sure every artist is used to doing things their way. But when you step back and you sort of trust other people, you understand that everyone knows what they're doing in their own field or in their own area. And when you step back and trust others, you can do a lot more in a group than you can by yourself. And you're introduced to many different perspectives and many different ways of seeing things. And at the end, I ended up growing a lot from that as well. You know, looking for others to give answers to questions that I had, and being amazed by the answers that they had that they had to the questions that I was sort of thinking about the entire time when it came to composition, when it came to colors, when it came to what to put what where. It was such a great thing. I'm excited to see it tomorrow. Well, I'm excited
Good. I'm
for everyone to see
glad.
it tomorrow.
Good. So what is in the future for Zach Diaz? What do you see coming? What are you envisioning? What do you want to do? Where are you going from here?
Well, currently I'm working with several businesses on branding, on things like that. But artistically, I'm actually trying to collaborate with many other artists. Sort of from working on the mural, it sort of opened my eyes to more possibilities in terms of collaboration. For example, back when I was at USC, I started a student artist organization where we would bring multiple forms of discipline, like dancers and actors, art, people that drew, people that painted. We would come together and we would create work towards a given goal. And what I'm doing now is I'm actually connecting with artists from other parts of the country and other parts of the world, as far as Italy and as far as Australia. We're working on multiple pieces to put together and sort of into an online show because of the pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah, and because of the pandemic last year, I released 2 online shows because one of mine was canceled for safety reasons, of course. And while it was new to me, after a while it was fun because not only was my work centralized. I mean, it wasn't just centralized in one spot. It could travel. You know, people could look at it from anywhere. And so to bring multiple artists from other cultures and other countries together, it not only widens our audiences, but it also shows other people that, you know, we can all work together if we have a given task, if we have a given subject to work from. So it's fun to see it all come to light.
Great. Wow. I can't wait to see one of those. Are they going to be open to the public or?
Yeah, well, it'll be completely online. When it's finished, we'll just give links. We'll share links with our platforms, and everyone will be able to see it. It's going to be amazing. I know.
I would love to see that. It sounds really amazing. So what is one thing you have learned about the whole collaboration? It's funny that, when the whole thought of the mural, I saw the collaboration in there, but I didn't know how it was going to end. But I had learned it at Harvard a year earlier about collaborating and partnering and all this stuff. How do you feel about it? Like, what is your perspective on it now? Like, what do you see? How do you see it growing? Generating more relationships and revenue. How do you implement that into your business?
Well, when it comes to collaborating, I think one of the main things you get is an abundance of perspective. Other people have lived different lives; they have different experiences than you, and when they bring their creativity to the project, you have to sit back, observe, and listen to them, because that's the way that collaboration works. It's trusting the other person or the other people to sort of be who they are with what you're creating. And I think it helps people grow as individuals because you're learning to accept a different idea, a different mindset than you have. And in terms of business, that's one of the best ways to grow. I mean, if you were to centralize your community or your outreach to one particular group, I mean, sure, you'll reach people, but you'll reach people in that group. When you collaborate, when you grow, when you seek out opportunities with other people from other cultures, you're opening yourself up to grow a lot more and to learn a lot more than you would. It's it's amazing to learn. It's amazing the things that you'll learn when you open yourself up to new possibilities, and you'll grow in ways that you didn't expect to.
Wow. So aside from being a great artist, you're also a brilliant mind. This is a great combo. So I would like for you to leave us with a message. It was such a pleasure having you here today. And as one of the leading Fantastic Five, I hope you continue growing and leading in the, you know, in the future, and in your community and all of our communities and here at Mecma. Can you please leave us with a message from Zachary Diaz?
Sure. Follow your passion. Your passion is what's going to push you to be who you're meant to be. It's really easy to fall into the trap or fall into what everyone else expects of you. One thing I learned last year is to just, if you have a vision, do it. You know, you can plan all day long, but a perfect plan is one thing. But when you actually put it into production, it's on its own. But success isn't a straight shot. It takes adaptation, determination, and a serious will to see things through. And never underestimate the power of working as a team. No matter what area you're working in, there's so much more that you can do together than you can do by yourself.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you very much, Zach. Thank you for everything. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Okay. Well, I am going to see you tomorrow. Okay. So thank you and have a wonderful day. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
So that was Zach Diaz. Next, we have Ulises Chavez. Ulises Chavez was born in Mexico City, moved to the U.S. back in 2001, lived in South Carolina ever since, CEO of Anglo-Latino Promotions, LLC, multicultural event planner and producer, marketing director for the Columbia International Festival, marketing and public relations manager for Mota Enterprises, marketing and public relations manager for South Carolina Latina and International Project. He is also a freelance writer in both Spanish and English for the statewide Latino newspaper and other medias. Father of two wonderful girls, married to a smart and classy woman, proud of his roots and having the privilege to connect people from all sorts of races and beliefs through music and cultural events. Creator of the Herencia Hispana Festival in Columbia, South Carolina.
The broadcast.
Creator of the South Carolina Hispanic Heritage Gala. So Ulises has done so many great things here in the community as well. Today we are here and happy to have you, Ulises. Can you please tell us your transition? How is it that you came from, like, what have you gone through to come to this place as a leader today?
Yeah, and
Okay, we might be having some technical difficulties, and I'm not on.
after a while,
Ulises.
was my work
Okay, so we are here today, and I don't know what is going on. For some reason, Ulises is not coming through.
Also shows us, you know, we can all work together.
Ulises, can you hear us, Ulises?
Great. Wow.
Okay. So I don't know what is going on. We're just gonna move on to Kenneth Brown. We're just gonna move on to Kenneth Brown. Mr. Kenneth Brown is here with us. Mr. Kenneth Brown is he's from Halls. He hails from East Orange, New Jersey. Migrated to the South as a young man with his parents and grandparents. He is the oldest of 4 siblings and is considered to be, by his mother, the neatest and most fashionable of all of his children. Kenneth graduated from Richland Northeast High School and continued his education via Tennessee State University in Nashville, Tennessee, studying and obtaining a bachelor's degree in psychology. He was and still is an active member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. Kenneth spent 10 years in the armed forces as a Morse systems interceptor in military intelligence. Kenneth spent 22 years as a 911 telecommunicator, specializing as a radio dispatcher, operations supervisor, operations manager, training officer, tactical dispatcher team leader, and court officer for 911 communications. Kenneth is currently owner and founder of Sphinxmen Protectors LLC, a protection management firm. Kenneth holds newly appointed positions of Chief Financial Officer for Just Because We Care, a nonprofit organization dedicated to the mission of small businesses, support, and growth in the local community. In addition, Kenneth is now the executive officer via Just Because We Care of Watchbox Network Southeast and executive artist reporters for Clayton Entertainment Music Group. Most important and very dear to him, Kenneth is a minister of the gospel, currently holding the position of local preacher in his local church. Kenneth is the proud father of twin children, Brittany and Brandon, and a beautiful granddaughter, Genesis. He has a passion for helping others and is all around a good guy. Thank you very much. It is very nice. Um, it is very nice to have you here, Kenneth. It's very nice to have you here. Okay, Kenneth, can you hear me?
Restart.
Hi, today we are having a couple of technological difficulties. It seems like there are some things going on. Therefore, we truly apologize for everything. And, remember, this is the Leading Fantastic Five. And every every month we highlight 5 leaders in the community. Unfortunately, we're getting close to the end of the show, and Mr. Kenneth Brown, you heard all his information. There's some technical difficulties, and he's not able to go on, as well as Mr. Ulysses Chavez. But I will tell you a little bit of what I know about Mr. Kenneth Brown. He has Mr. Kenneth.
Hello.
Hi. Okay. We are running out of time, so if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and how it is that you became, how it is that you went from some of the things that you did in, you worked a lot with law enforcement into Sphinxman. What's
Yeah,
that transition look like? Can you tell us, please?
sure. Sure. The transition was a really smooth one because I spent so much time in the military and dealing with military type situations. The transition was very good. I think the pivotal point for me is when I was in White House communications. All the black bag you can't talk about for 99 years type things happened while I was there, but it gave me a chance to see the world. It gave me a chance to see other people and other cultures. So it transitioned into that because I was standing at the Gaza Strip and I was looking at the actual Sphinx itself. which is a mythological character. And what it does, it tells you a riddle. If you don't answer the riddle, it will devour you. But it was protecting the tombs. And that's where the ideas for Sphinx Tomb Protectors was born. So when I wrote the business plan about 3 years ago, it was an idea of now accelerating it into the marketplace, being very different than every other security company. It's not a security company, it's a protection management agency. Very different, but the transition was great.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the protection management? What do you do exactly?
We handle bodyguard services and protection management for individuals that need it, whether it's a domestic violence situation all the way up to a celebrity. And in that, we are trained and qualified via martial arts, as I'm a first degree black belt in Tai Chi, weapons qualifications, as well as military qualifications. And you have to be a very quiet person to move into that type of realm, very patient. And you also have to understand psychology of people when they're dealing with a public figure and how to protect them without having anybody to get hurt. The last thing I want to do is bring a weapon into the scenario. So I use martial arts to calm, or just talk to people first. Use martial arts as an opportunity to calm the situation and detain them until law enforcement takes over. So that can be itself be very daunting because not only are you looking at your client, but you're looking at your surroundings and being aware and constantly aware of what potential dangers might come up while you're standing there. Because it's a very dangerous operation. It's nothing that is very easy.
So how many qualified protection guards do you have at this moment?
I only have two, myself and my COO, but I'm sorry, three. I took a third person on yesterday, but it's expected to grow exponentially in the next 12 months.
Great. One of the things I heard celebrities. Have you protected any celebrities anytime in the past or?
I have, but I'm not at liberty to say who they were simply because of protectionary measures. But I can say it's probably some high profile people that you look at every day. Yes,
okay. And so what does it look like for Sphinx men protecting someone that's going through domestic violence versus celebrity versus just a politician? What's the difference? Is there a difference in the methodology with protection or protection strategies, or is it all the same?
The premise is just the same. The methodology is the same. It's just depending on who we're dealing with. For domestic violence situations, they can be very volatile. So as a 911 operator, I know what to look for when I'm asking specific questions. And usually people are just not getting along with one another. Alcohol and or a weapon is involved, and that person needs to have some type of protection after the fact. Law enforcement has arrived. This person wants to be protected or has an assigned detail for a short period of time until both parties calm down. If it's a politician, however, normally they're assigned someone by the FBI, CIA, and or Department of Public Service. I would step in if it's a domestic type situation where they wanted me to be with them while they're off duty. As far as a celebrity is concerned, they're high profile. Now they're all over the place depending on what's going on. So we monitor and stay with that person for either a short period of time or a long period of time. Now, if it's a short period of time, it's a concert or something that they're with. So I make sure that my team is in place, ready 30 minutes prior to any event, and we stay with them until the event is clear. If it's a 24-hour period, then we monitor their activity, see where they're going, and if they're contained in, let's say, a hotel room or at their home, then we will scale back because that person is inside of their residence, and local law enforcement can become involved. So it really depends on what the situation is and how we should handle it.
Okay, so one of the things that I keep on hearing about the events, there are big events in the Latino community, like the 15th birthdays, the Sweet 15s, and wow, that's a market to tap on. Have you tried that yet?
I am going to in the future with collaboration with Mota and Mecma, but also to let that client know, whether it's 15 people or two, that we are there to serve them. They are the rock star. I'm just the auxiliary. I'm usually no more than 3 to 5 feet away from anybody, but in a distance where if someone had a concern, wanted to hurt them, or they just wanted a private moment, usually before a concert or afterwards, then we provide that protection. If it becomes volatile, we know what to do. 9 times out of 10, people just want to enjoy themselves and have access to that star, etc. So we look forward to that collaboration. at that point, I would have a lot more people working with me to assist me with 15 persons at one time.
Good. Wow. Also, so can you give us a message coming from you to the community that's listening to you today and everyone surrounding you? Can you give us a message? And it's been a pleasure having you here today with us.
Thank you so much. I do hail from New Jersey. I love South Carolina. It is a great place to come and relax and just have a good time, but it's also where it's a place to work and replant your seeds. And speaking of seeds, if you have a business or a business idea, it's because of your imagination. God planted that to you. So it only belongs to you. Every idea is a multi-platinum, multi-billion dollar idea. It's that you have to do the work in order to make it happen. So in order for that to happen, you need to stay focused. In order for you to stay focused, you need to stay grounded. You stay grounded, everything else will take care of itself.
Thank you very much, Kenneth. I really appreciate everything that you have done. I was logged out. But anyway, so today has been one of those technology weird days. But guess what? God is great and we are here. So thank you very much for everything. And now, finally, we're just going to have Ulysses come back and say a few words about what it's like to lead every day. If you can come up, Ulysses, please. And again, this is the Leading Fantastic Five, and we are so happy to be here. And thank you, CAINEM and Carol, for this great invitation.
What do you mean?
So we will have Ulysses,
Okay.
because, hello?
It was on.
Hi, Ulysses. Can you hear us? Ulysses, can you hear us?
There's some technical difficulties, and
Ulysses?
not able to go on as well as Mr. Chavez. But I will tell you a little bit of what I know about Mr. Kenneth Brown. Mr. Kenneth? Hello.
All right. Okay. Hi. Bye, guys. It was nice seeing you guys.
We are running out of time, so if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself